Joining us now is Doug Ford, the Premier of Canada's most populous territory, Ontario. And Premier Ford, as we mentioned, President Trump is now saying he is enacting a...
But we're never going to give up. We're going to fight like we've never fought, as I mentioned earlier. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. It's Team Ontario, Team Canada.
In a moment of extraordinary political theater and unbridled personal conviction, Ontario Premier Doug Ford launched a direct, blistering, and profoundly public attack on Lourenco Goncalves, the powerful and formidable chairman and CEO of Cleveland Cliffs. Welcome viewers to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update.
Like they've never seen before. You need our uranium, you need our potash, you need our high-grade nickel. I will stockpile our high-grade nickel at 50% on the electricity. Stay tuned.
So what does that look like? What are the potential responses?
Well, we'll see. I'll talk to the team and we'll make it up.
This American corporate entity had recently concluded its high-stakes acquisition of Stelco, a revered and iconic Canadian steel manufacturer, and the Premier's comments, delivered from a news conference podium strategically placed in the industrial heartland of Hamilton, were far more than a routine political statement. They were a fervent, unapologetic, and highly passionate defense of Canadian workers, marking a dramatic and highly visible escalation in the persistent and simmering trade tensions with the United States. Ford's central and most pointed accusation, a phrase that would instantly become a headline and a rallying cry for labor advocates, was that Goncalves doesn't give two hoots about the thousands of dedicated Canadian employees at the iconic Hamilton steel mill. This claim struck an immediate, powerful, and visceral nerve, resonating deeply with a workforce already grappling with significant uncertainty and anxiety about its future under new, foreign ownership. The Premier's words were a potent mixture of political outrage, national pride, and a clear signal of his unwavering willingness to fight for the province's key industries. The escalating friction between Premier Ford and CEO Goncalves is inextricably rooted in the broader geopolitical and economic landscape that has come to define North American trade relations in recent years. The United States, under the leadership of President Donald Trump, had aggressively pursued a series of protectionist trade policies, most notably the expansion of its 50% tariffs on a broad spectrum of steel and aluminum products imported from Canada and other nations. While these tariffs were ostensibly designed to safeguard American industries from foreign competition, their repercussions were felt acutely, disproportionately, and devastatingly in Canada, where a deeply integrated cross-border supply chain has historically and seamlessly connected the two countries' manufacturing sectors for decades. The very foundation of this long-standing economic partnership, built on mutual benefit and cooperation, was being fundamentally challenged by policies that were explicitly designed to favor one side at the explicit expense of the other, creating significant economic disruption and uncertainty. Cleveland Cliffs, a dominant and highly influential force in the American steel industry, has not only been a significant financial beneficiary of these tariffs, but has also actively and vocally lobbied the U.S. government for their implementation and continuation. This is the precise crux of Premier Ford's profound outrage and his core point of contention. He argued with powerful conviction that by championing these punitive and protectionist measures, Goncalves was directly, deliberately, and hypocritically harming the very employees who now worked for his company in Canada, creating an unacceptable and deeply unethical conflict of interest. Ford's accusations were not simply based on conjecture or political rhetoric. He claimed to possess irrefutable, direct evidence, official letters and formal documents signed by the CEO that, in Ford's view, sign away Canadian steel to the U.S., a betrayal of trust and loyalty that he could not tolerate. This perceived act of disloyalty and dereliction of duty, the Premier asserted, was an unacceptable action from a company that had so recently assumed the stewardship of a vital Canadian industry and the livelihoods of thousands of its workers. It was a betrayal that demanded a public and forceful response. Ford's rhetoric was deliberately infused with a powerful, unifying, and emotive sense of national pride and Canadian solidarity. He repeatedly invoked the phrase Team Canada, a potent and unifying slogan designed to draw a clear and unambiguous line in the sand between Canadian interests and what he framed as Goncalves' American-centric, profit-driven corporate agenda. The choice of venue for the news conference, a United Steelworkers Union Hall, was a highly calculated and strategic move. It served to visibly and politically align his government firmly with the workers and their labor unions, sending a powerful and unmissable message of solidarity. By doing so, Ford was not only positioning himself as a champion of the working class, but also as a political leader willing to fearlessly stand up for their jobs, their dignity, and their economic security against what he portrayed as a disloyal and self-interested foreign entity. The premier was cultivating an image of a leader who instinctively puts his people first, no matter the political or economic cost. The news conference took a dramatic and unexpected turn, with Ford's frustration and passion boiling over into radical and almost unprecedented proposals, culminating in a highly personal and televised challenge directed at the CEO himself. The premier went so far as to suggest that the provincial government might have to intervene directly if Cleveland-Cliffs continued to undermine Stelco's Canadian operations, a statement that sent shockwaves through the business community. The radical and audacious idea of the province just buying the company was a bold and audacious suggestion, hinting at a potential nationalization or a government-led buyout of the private entity, a move almost unheard of in modern Canadian politics. This statement was a powerful and public signal of the extreme lengths to which the Ford government was willing to go to protect a strategic economic asset and the thousands of Canadian jobs it provides. This was not an empty bluff. It was a clear and unambiguous warning to all foreign companies that operate within Ontario's borders. This was followed by what can only be described as a public dare, a moment that instantly went viral. Ford, his voice filled with growing fervor and indignation, looked directly into the news cameras and declared that he was done with this guy. He then issued a highly personal and televised invitation for Goncalves to call him, promising with a fiery intensity, "I'm going to blast him." This highly confrontational and broadcast challenge transformed a complex and multifaceted trade and labor dispute into a personal feud of epic proportions, drawing immense public attention and ensuring that the issue would remain a front-page story for days, if not weeks, to come. It was a calculated and high-stakes gamble, designed to force a public response from Goncalves and demonstrate to his constituents that their leader was a fearless, unyielding, and passionate fighter, ready and willing to take on powerful adversaries on their behalf. The incident had become a public spectacle, with the premier at the center of the ring, controlling the narrative. While the verbal sparring, personal attacks, and public dare captured the bulk of the headlines and dominated news cycles, the core and practical purpose of the event was to announce a significant and tangible financial commitment designed to support Ontario's beleaguered workforce. The $70 million investment was a proactive measure intended to build economic resilience and provide a crucial safety net for workers during a time of significant economic and corporate uncertainty. This substantial funding was allocated to two pivotal and innovative programs, demonstrating a multifaceted and comprehensive approach to the crisis. The first was the Protect Ontario Workers Employment Response, POWER Centers, which will receive $20 million, and the second was the Better Jobs Ontario program, which will see an additional $50 million in funding. These power centers represent a new and highly innovative approach to labor support and rapid response. They are designed to function as a streamlined, rapid response system, ensuring that workers who are displaced or at significant risk of job loss have immediate and unimpeded access to a comprehensive suite of services. These services include advanced job training, professional employment counseling, and targeted job placement assistance, all aimed at minimizing the economic disruption to families and communities. The proactive nature of these centers aims to minimize the disruptive lag time between job loss and reemployment, providing a critical buffer for affected families and communities during difficult transitions and a lifeline in times of economic distress. The Better Jobs Ontario program, which will see an additional $50 million in funding, is a clear and powerful testament to the government's commitment to long-term economic resilience and worker adaptability. By increasing support for this vital program, the government is making it significantly easier and more accessible for displaced workers to acquire new and in-demand skills for the modern, evolving economy. The funding is designed to cover essential costs such as tuition, transportation, and childcare, effectively removing significant financial barriers